First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The kicker, Jake Bates, has this one on the tee. He'll run up and send this one away here at Ford Field. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Looking to pass, first play is Prescott. He's got it complete to Tolbert. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Prescott. And this one quickly to Lamb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Prescott to throw it. Tolbert hauls in the out route. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll throw again. Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Prescott. Going right back to Ferguson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Second and a couple. Now Prescott. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial. Make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up? in order to get off the field a lot faster, because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
What's important right here on this drive, got to give their defense a chance to settle down, touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. In motion goes the tight end. Now a play deep for Laporta. And this, a chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself, you don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's gone. That is caught. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Play action. It's gone. That's complete to Laporta. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him, and I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc. That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not, and dropped him for no gain.
In motion goes Patrick. Goff throwing again. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 14. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a 1st down.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
In motion goes Patrick. Throw left side complete. That's Patrick. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Goff now to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on 3rd down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
Bates' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. That's into the hands of Tober. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
They run here with Dowdle, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Prescott. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Alex Anzalone from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back speed.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. That third down conversion good for 23.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Prescott now. Crossing route complete. Catch made by Cooks. 7 yards there and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. To throw is Prescott. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, 28 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
Off play action. Here's Goff. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big gain of 31 on third down. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Again, Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the kick. Look at the big man rumble. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Second down and a yard. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Goff. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 43 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Prescott to throw it. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's how you flip field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from an ideal position.
Dowdle is in. Touchdown, Dallas. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. To throw is Goff. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Goff. This one swung out to Montgomery. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6. The 40-yard line.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And some room to roam now. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. In motion left comes Williams. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMarvion Overshown. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Aubrey good with the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And fights through one man. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
The tackle made at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Second down and 6 now. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Now it's Goff. There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Lions get a bit closer.
A That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Here's Prescott. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Now Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Now Prescott. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. It's caught left side by Cooks. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Here's Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Goff now looking to throw. This is caught by Williams. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
It attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. 2nd and 10. Going up the gut, Montgomery shifts past him at the 45. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In motion, the tight end. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Throwing, Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
A running play, it's Dowdle. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
They run again with Dowdle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll fire one end zone for Cooks. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott now. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. In motion comes the tight end left. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And he's got his man. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On the run, it's Dowdle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, He slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll increase their lead to 28. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun, here's Goff. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
To the air again, Goff. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session, because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Back to throw, Goff. He's got right on the short throw. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
And the tight end goes in motion left. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down, as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Complete to David Montgomery. On gain of 2. Exit 3rd and 9.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Out of the gun. Goff. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
But this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Once more, Montgomery. They'll try again. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to...
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Tim Patrick there to make the grab. And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps, because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson, his 2nd sack of the night. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Gone. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, Goff. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Goff now to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applying the heat.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the end. 4th down, you've got to go for it. And they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Coming right, this is Montgomery on the toss. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decided to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Goff. This is caught. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Montgomery is in for a Lions touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Looking to throw. Prescott.
He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
That stop made by Jack Campbell.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Prescott to throw it. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown.
Rico Dowdle.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Cowboys have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. Aubrey now for the point after.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Cowboys 52, Lions 31.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Second and 6.
To throw is Goff.
St. Brown making the catch on the out route.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Goff.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted. And the Cowboys are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
Now, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Detroit.